I mean, just imagine what it would be like to be in dialogue with another person who was running on a time course that was 1,000,000,000 times faster than yours. For every second you had to think, it has 32 years.
Generative AI is the technology behind the wave of new online tools used by millions around the world.
Are we ready for generative AI? Imagine a world where your favorite author releases a new book, written by a machine. A world where the next viral song isn't composed by a human but dreamt up by lines of code. A world where the breathtaking landscape in that travel video you're watching never actually existed. This isn't some dystopian nightmare. It's the reality we're hurtling toward with the rise of generative AI. This technology can create anything from music to art to even news articles, all with an uncanny realism that blurs the lines between real and artificial. But here's the real question. Are we ready for a world where machines can become the ultimate creators? Are we the ones who will be generated next? Join us as we delve into the mind-bending world of generative AI, exploring its incredible potential and the unsettling questions it raises about the future of creativity and humanity itself. Buckle up because this ride is about to get real. So welcome to a world where artificial intelligence can not only understand and respond to information, but also create entirely new things. This is the fascinating realm of generative AI, a subfield of AI that's rapidly transforming the way we interact with machines. At its core, generative AI is about generating new data, be it text, images, music, even code. It achieves this by analyzing massive amounts of existing data, identifying patterns and relationships, and then using that knowledge to create something original. Think of it as a highly skilled artist who has studied countless paintings and can now produce their own unique work, inspired by the masters, but not simply copying them. Generative AI models are trained on vast data sets. For instance, a model that generates text might be trained on a collection of books, articles, and code. As the model sifts through this data, it learns the intricacies of language, including grammar, sentence structure, and vocabulary. It also learns the styles and nuances of different writing genres. Once trained, the generative AI model can then use its knowledge to produce new text formats. It can write poems, scripts, musical pieces, and even entire computer programs, all while maintaining a coherent and creative style. Here's an analogy to illustrate the concept. Imagine learning a new language by being submerged in a culture where everyone speaks it. You'd gradually absorb the language's rules and vocabulary, eventually forming your own sentences and expressing yourself. Generative AI models go through a similar process, immersing themselves in a vast sea of data to learn the underlying patterns and then using that knowledge to generate new content. Of course, generative AI isn't perfect. The generated content can sometimes be nonsensical or stray from the original prompt. But as these models continue to evolve and learn from even more data, their ability to produce creative and realistic outputs is constantly improving. Looking at it from one end, generative AI is a spark of brilliance illuminating our world. Its application holds many advantages in our today's world. It paints a picture of a world where artificial intelligence can not only understand information, but also use its knowledge to create entirely new things. And the good thing there is that this isn't a scene from a futuristic movie. It's the exciting reality of generative AI, a rapidly growing field that's transforming countless aspects of our lives. Think of it like a super-powered brainstorming partner. You give it a starting point and it explodes with fresh ideas, possibilities, and unique outputs. Here's a further explanation of how it works. As we've established earlier, generative AI models are trained on colossal datasets. Now, explaining this another way, an AI creating music might be trained on every symphony ever composed. As it sifts through this data, it learns the different instruments, melodies, and harmonies that make up music. It also learns the styles of different composers, from the sweeping grandeur of Beethoven to the whimsical charm of Mozart. Once the training is complete, the generative AI model can then use this knowledge to craft entirely original compositions. It can write music for a new video game, compose a lullaby for a fussy baby, or even create a soundtrack for a movie that hasn't even been written yet. The possibilities are truly endless. The applications of generative AI stretch far beyond the realm of music. Its applications and use are vast and definitely too impossible to exhaust. It finds several applications in science, in researches, and in various fields today. Imagine researchers studying protein structures. Generative AI can analyze existing protein data and propose entirely new protein structures that could hold the key to medical breakthroughs. In the creative world, generative AI can be a muse for writers, artists, and designers. It can help overcome writer's block by suggesting new ideas or storylines. It can inspire artists by creating unique color palettes or design patterns. It can even assist fashion designers by generating new clothing styles or textile patterns. But generative AI isn't just about creating fancy art or music. It has the potential to revolutionize the way we work and learn. Imagine personalized learning tools that tailor educational materials to each student's individual needs. Generative AI can create custom practice problems, interactive simulations, or even write summaries of complex topics in a way that's easy for students to understand. In the business world, generative AI can streamline tasks and boost productivity. Imagine AI-powered chatbots that can answer customer questions 24/7, freeing up human employees to focus on more complex tasks. Imagine marketing teams using generative AI to create targeted advertising campaigns or personalized product recommendations for each customer. The impact of generative AI isn't limited to businesses and schools. It can play a significant role in everyday life. Imagine using generative AI to create a custom workout plan based on your fitness goals, or a personalized meal plan that caters to your dietary restrictions. Imagine using AI to write emails that are clear, concise, and free of grammatical errors. The future of generative AI is bright. As these models continue to learn and evolve, their ability to create even more sophisticated and realistic outputs will only grow. This technology holds the potential to make our lives easier, more creative, and filled with exciting new possibilities. It's a powerful tool waiting to be harnessed, and with careful development and responsible use, generative AI can become a true force for good in our world. But there is a scare. We're not ignorant of the fact that it'll certainly come with its own share of disadvantages and concerns, just as every other thing that has any benefit to humankind. But the issue here is, can we bear what demerits it brings? Can we stand its adverse effects, its disadvantages? It's not enough to imagine a picture of a world where artificial intelligence can not only understand information, but also use its knowledge to create entirely new things. It's very necessary in this light to also imagine a world where artificial intelligence can spin lies as easily as it crafts poems, where news articles are fabricated to sow discord, and where deepfakes make it impossible to tell truth from fiction. This, also unfortunately, isn't science fiction. It's the potential dark side of generative AI, the seemingly powerful technology teetering on the edge of unleashing chaos. Yes, generative AI is a tool for creating new things, from text and images to music and even code. It sounds great, right? But here's the rub. This creation often stems from mimicking existing data. And guess what? The world is brimming with negativity, bias, and downright falsehoods. Here's where the trouble begins. Let's talk fake news. We've all seen it, those outrageous headlines designed to inflame emotions and spread misinformation. Now, imagine AI cranking out these stories at an alarming rate, stories so convincing they blur the lines between fact and fiction. Imagine manipulated videos of politicians making outrageous statements, or deepfakes of celebrities endorsing shady products. Social media, already a breeding ground for misinformation, could become a swirling vortex of AI-generated lies, tearing at the fabric of trust in everything we see and hear. But fake news is just the tip of the iceberg. Generative AI can perpetuate harmful stereotypes and biases. It's a reflection of the data it's trained on. And if that data is riddled with prejudice, the AI will churn out content that reinforces those biases. Imagine job applications being filtered by AI that favors certain ethnicities or genders based on historical hiring patterns. Imagine AI-powered chatbots programmed with racist or sexist language, further normalizing these harmful attitudes. Then there's the chilling effect on creativity. With AI churning out content at lightning speed, will there be room for human imagination? Will artists and writers feel discouraged, their unique voices drowned out by the constant hum of machine-made creations? Could generative AI become a crutch, hindering the development of critical thinking skills as people become reliant on AI-generated summaries and analyses? The potential for manipulation extends even beyond the digital realm. Imagine AI being used to create synthetic voices that can be used for phishing scams or impersonation. Imagine malicious actors using generative AI to create fake financial documents or manipulate stock prices. The very fabric of trust in institutions and the financial system could be unraveled by the ease with which AI can forge seemingly authentic documents. The dangers of generative AI aren't limited to the virtual world. Imagine AI also being used to design and manufacture autonomous weapons that can target and kill without human intervention. The idea of AI-powered drones making life or death decisions is a terrifying prospect, raising serious ethical concerns about the use of such technology in warfare. Generative AI is a powerful tool, no doubt, but like any powerful tool, it can be misused. We need to tread carefully, ensuring proper safeguards are in place to prevent this technology from becoming a weapon of mass deception and manipulation. Regulations, robust fact-checking mechanisms, and open discussions about the ethical implications of generative AI are crucial to mitigate the risks. The future of generative AI is uncertain. Will it be a tool for progress or a Pandora's box unleashing chaos? The answer lies in our hands. We must approach this technology with a healthy dose of caution and a commitment to harnessing its power for good. Otherwise, we risk creating a world where truth is a casualty, creativity is stifled, and manipulation reigns supreme. So, are we ready for generative AI? Well, that question is left for everyone to answer for themselves. But let us know your answer down in the comment section below.